Nigeria's union ripe for renegotiation. Sulaimon, CNG spokesperson. Welcome to the news, and please subscribe to our channel. In this interview with Godfrey George, spokesperson for the coalition of northern groups, Abdulaziz Sulaimon shares his views on the need for a referendum to determine the fate of groups seeking self-determination, among other issues. Who would not agree to this? Sincerely. Not even talk about the constitution that does not in any way represent the interest of the people of Nigeria. It does not. The same constitution that said Nigerians have this fundamental human right, the same one kicks against it in a way. So I think it is due. Please, it is long overdue. So let's listen to what this man has to say. And unfortunately, I just wish we just have a government that is open to, to suggestions. Sincerely, it would have made things easier. Let's listen to the rest of the news. The coalition of northern groups in a lawsuit before Federal High Court in Abuja asked the people of the Southeast to be allowed to succeed. What are the details of this suit and what stage is it? He replied, "We need to make a slight clarification here. Whenever asked the court to allow the Igbo to break away, essentially, we approached the Federal High Court in Abuja to seek an order for the National Assembly to suspend the constitution review and provide a framework for the conduct of a referendum to determine the fate of Biafra and other self-determination agitations and to determine what constitutes Nigeria's territory and who populates it." The suit filed by the CNG and its leaders, Nastura Asha Sharif, Abdulaziz Sulaimon, Balarabe Rufai, and Aminu Adam joined the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, the Senate President, Ahmad Lawan, Speaker House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, and the National Assembly as defendants. What are the issues for determination? He replied, one of the issues for determination in the substantive suit has to do with the legal obligation of a second to fourth defendant and respondent to provide a framework that will pave way for the self-determination of a southeastern state and any other enclave that wants to go as to leave the geographical entity called Nigeria before any further step is taken to review the constitution. We have already filed our originating summons. It contains our argument and our point of view. And the wisdom of a court, we believe, if the court listens to the provisions of the African Charter, particularly Article 20, which provide the right to self-determination, and Nigeria being a signatory to that charter, having ratified provisions of a charter under our laws by the National Assembly, it becomes law. Also operative in Nigeria by the member states. We came by way of motion and notice. We decided it does not become ex parte because we want all parties to respond to the motion on notice seeking injunction to restrain the National Assembly from taking further steps with respect to the issue of constitution amendment. The argument is simple. Some people are saying they are not interested in the country, and you amended the constitution to create states in areas that are trained to say we are not interested in the union. So we felt the right thing to do was to ask the National Assembly to stop the constitution amendment to address this issue in the overriding interest of the country. The issue of self-determination is not an issue of opinion. It is the general view of the people concerned. Everyone is a stakeholder, most especially the enclaves that are interested in self-determination and having their own country. Every adult has a right to vote on where their opinion lies because we keep having counter-arguments. Some are saying we want to go, some are saying we want the presidency, and some are saying we want to stay. The best way to get a general view on the matter is to allow people to express their right under the law. What informed your decision as a group to institute this suit? As bona fide citizens of Nigeria, he replied, we have the right to approach the court to seek redress or interpretation of any matter that concerns us as individuals or potentially affects the well-being of our country. Significantly, we have taken stock of events unfolding in Nigeria since 2016, noting especially the unrelenting disturbances created by certain interest groups in the southeast in the form of agitation for a separate state of Biafra, which eventually turned violent. The agitation was ignited and easily fanned into a raging fire by the indigenous people of Biafra and other authors of mindless violence and other separatism, who see it as their duty to actualize what their fathers started in 1966, namely to bring about the realization of a separate state of Biafra through the force of arms and terrorist tactics. As representative of the various interest groups from northern Nigeria, and in the best tradition of a cultured north, we watched and studied this event carefully, with considerable restraint and maturity to the point of condoning and accommodating several unreasonable and unacceptable actions that have been perpetrated against Nigerians collectively, Northerners in particular. From your assessment of the way Nigeria is governed, would you say the country is truly democratic? We are running indeed a democratic system run by undemocratic people, but it is democracy, and with commitment we can make it work. We have the regime of Major General Muhammad Buhari, retired for almost 6 years. How would you rate his performance? It is a failed administration in all respects, especially in the vital area of providing security of lives and property of citizens. Every other thing is secondary. The Senate recently approved a fresh set of loans of $16 billion for the Buhari regime amid the rising debts and increasing poverty. What is your take on this? He replied, "It is part of what we have consistently referred to as failure of leadership, if you look at it in the context of other fundamental questions that have pushed the Nigerian nation to the margin of decadence, decay, irrelevance, and inconsequence. What the administration is doing is enslaving the coming generation of Nigerians in the bondage of intolerable debt. It is time to go beyond rhetoric and rise to challenge this and other inadequate, ineffective, and unfocused policies of this administration. There have been many talks on which region should produce the president come 2023. Some have said the presidency should come to the south. Do you agree with that position?" He replied, "The CNG has, after due consultation with stakeholders, leaders, and elders, categorically aligned completely with the position taken by the Northern Elders Forum, as expressed by Dr. Hakeem Baba Ahmed and that of the Northern State Governors Forum, that zoning of elective position is unconstitutional, undemocratic, and must be jettisoned. We'll find a renewed desperation by the South, who threaten the Northern people's right to franchise as a deliberate attempt to bastardize democracy, cause greater instability in the guise of contentious, undemocratic power shift arrangement. This is unacceptable. Although some Northern governors and a bankrupt section of the region's elite may be disposed to endorsing power shift to the South, the CNG and a vast majority of the cultured North collectively fought such cause. On this note, we have come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen. Until I come your way next time, enjoy the rest of the day.